Consumer Reports released their 2025 Reliability Survey last month, and if you're shopping for a new car right now, you need to see this data before you sign anything. They surveyed 380,000 vehicle owners about problems over the last 12 months, and 18 different models lost their recommendation because reliability fell below average. These aren't paid reviews. Consumer Reports doesn't accept advertising. They track 20 different problem areas, from engine and transmission failures to electronics and paint issues. They weigh the problems, so a transmission that quits completely counts more than a squeaky door. Here's what stood out. Electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids are having 80% more problems than regular gas cars. Some EVs costing $60,000 to $80,000 scored worse for reliability than 10-year-old used cars. Brand new models from companies that have been building cars for decades are breaking down before they hit 10,000 miles. I'm going to walk through 15 of these vehicles, what's going wrong, and what it means if you already own one or you're thinking about buying one. Tom K. bought his 2024 Chevrolet Traverse in March. He'd researched three-row SUVs for months and thought Chevrolet was a safe bet. By June, the truck had been towed twice. It started with a hesitation when he accelerated from a stop. Then he noticed a puddle under the vehicle in his driveway. Transmission fluid was leaking from the torque converter. The dealership knew about it right away. Loose pump bolts. GM put out technical service bulletins about it, TSB 202501 and TSB 202504. Consumer Reports dropped the Traverse from their recommended list. Owners reported transmission problems, electronics issues, and persistent leaks. The Traverse was completely redesigned for 2024 with a new turbocharged 4-cylinder engine and updated interior. Tom's repair took 11 days because parts were on back order. When he got the truck back, it worked fine for 3 weeks. Then the leak came back. The service advisor said they'd need to replace the entire transmission. Outside warranty, that's $5,000 to $8,000. The Traverse shares its platform with the GMC, Acadia, and Buick Enclave. All three have similar problems. The Acadia scored well below average in its 2025 redesign. The Enclave landed below average after its 2024 update. Tom's Traverse sits in his garage now while he drives a rental. He owes more than it's worth, and dealers know about the reputation. Trade-in offers are coming in thousands below what he paid 8 months ago. The problems at GM aren't limited to their big three-row SUVs either. The smaller Terrain and Equinox, both redesigned for 2025, landed in Consumer Reports' well below average category. They scored even lower than the Traverse. The problems mirror what's happening across GM's entire lineup: electronics that freeze, transmission hesitation and rough shifts, body hardware that squeaks and rattles on vehicles under 5,000 miles. GM finished 29th out of 31 in Consumer Reports' overall reliability rankings. GMC ranked 16th out of 17 mainstream brands. Only Rivian scored lower among brands with enough data to rank. Compact SUVs like the Terrain and Equinox are supposed to be reliable workhorses, affordable to buy and cheap to maintain. When they need major repairs within the first year, owners face depreciation that outpaces loan payments. They're stuck in vehicles they can't trust and can't afford to replace. Even GM's pickup trucks aren't escaping the quality problems. The redesigned Chevrolet Colorado and its twin, the GMC Canyon, both remain unreliable in their second year, according to Consumer Reports. When a car has a low score in its first year, it sometimes takes the automaker more time to address the problems. But a full year later, the Colorado and Canyon still have the same transmission issues, electronics failures, and build quality concerns. The two trucks share powertrains and platforms, and apparently the same quality problems. For buyers choosing GMC, hoping for better build quality than Chevy, the data shows no difference. The Ram 1500 didn't fare much better. Even though Ram only made updates rather than a full redesign, Consumer Reports noted teething pains that pulled the truck's reliability below average. Changes to established models can introduce unexpected problems, and the Ram proved that point. But here's where things get really concerning. It's not just GM and Stellantis struggling. Mazda, a brand that built its entire reputation on reliable, fun-to-drive vehicles, just took a massive hit with the CX-90 and CX-70. Jennifer S. bought her 2024 CX-90 plug-in hybrid in May. By September, she had the experience hundreds of other owners reported. While merging onto the highway, warning lights filled her dashboard. The throttle stopped responding. The vehicle lost all power and coasted to the shoulder at 8 miles per hour. The problem was faulty throttle assembly software. When it happened on the freeway, the engine shut down completely. Drivers had no power, just enough momentum to coast to safety. Mazda Recall 7024J addressed it by reprogramming the control modules, but not before multiple owners went through it. Other problems kept coming. Transmission systems that lock in gear at startup, then jerk violently. The steering system on early models would temporarily stop working while turning. Water leaks from the moonroof, brake squealing on brand new vehicles, suspension squeaks requiring repeated dealer visits. Consumer Reports noted both gas and plug-in versions of the CX-90 and CX-70 remain unreliable in their second year. That's unusual. Most manufacturers work out first-year problems by year 2. These SUVs dropped Mazda's brand ranking by 8 spots in Consumer Reports' survey. Both models share platforms and powertrains, and both scored below average in their first and second years. Mazda issued 3 recalls in late 2024 covering sudden power loss, malfunctioning defrosters, and faulty battery cooling. Jennifer's CX-90 spent its 4th week in the shop waiting for parts. The loaner vehicles ran out. She missed work. The resale value dropped as online forums filled with similar stories. When she got it back, the repairs lasted 3 weeks before new problems showed up. Now let's talk about what's happening in the luxury segment, because this is where the reliability crisis gets really expensive. Lincoln tried to modernize with the Nautilus Hybrid, offering luxury features and improved fuel economy. Consumer Reports tagged it below average and removed its recommendation. Problems center on the integration of gas and electric powertrains. Hybrid systems need coordination between engines, motors, batteries, and transmissions. When that fails, owners get rough transitions, unexpected power delivery, and warning lights that send them back to dealerships repeatedly. Air suspension failures leave some vehicles sagging on one corner. Electronic systems managing infotainment and climate develop glitches requiring software updates. For a luxury vehicle, these problems undermine the value. Buyers pay premium prices expecting premium reliability, not constant dealer visits. But if you think the Nautilus has problems, wait until you hear about the Cadillac Lyriq. This was supposed to be GM's electric future. Beautiful design, impressive range, Super Cruise hands-free driving. Buyers paid $60,000 or more for what GM promised would compete with Tesla. Consumer Reports gave it the second lowest reliability score of the year, 5 out of 100. Michael R. took delivery in July 2023. At 1,048 miles, he got his first 12-volt battery fault alert. He was parked in his driveway, main battery fully charged, about to leave for work. The Lyriq wouldn't turn on. The doors locked and unlocked randomly. The vehicle powered on and off in a loop that drained the 12-volt battery completely. The Lyriq was bricked, dead weight in his driveway. The dealership kept it for 2 weeks, replaced the 12-volt battery, and sent him home. 3 weeks later, it happened again. This isn't rare. Multiple Lyriq owners report the same pattern. The vehicle can be fully charged, ready to drive, but the 12-volt system that powers the computers and door locks fails. Some owners went through it 3 or 4 times in their first year. Each time meant towing, rental cars, and weeks waiting for parts. The 12-volt problem is just one issue. The massive touchscreen randomly goes black while driving. Owners lose the speedometer, backup camera, navigation, climate controls. Some report screens so hot they can't touch them. The electronic trunk stops opening. Wireless charging doesn't work. Door handles won't close. Consumer Reports documented 5 recalls on the 2024 Lyriq. Problems with infotainment, cameras, and sensors were so common that screen and display issues became one of the top complaints. One owner described spending 1 week in service for every 2.5 weeks of ownership. Charging problems frustrated owners even more. Some Lyriqs refuse to charge except on DC fast chargers. Home charging and level 2 public chargers fail within minutes. For an electric vehicle marketed on convenient home charging, this turns every charge attempt into a gamble. Cadillac scored 27 out of 100 in Consumer Reports' brand ranking, second to last among all automakers. Only Rivian scored lower. And the problems aren't stopping with the Lyriq. The brand new Optiq, a smaller electric SUV joining the lineup, scored below average in Consumer Reports' predictions. The Optiq shares GM's Ultium platform and likely inherits similar software and electronic systems. Early buyers face the same gamble. That Ultium platform is showing up everywhere at GM, and everywhere it goes, problems follow. The Chevrolet Blazer EV remains unreliable in its second year. The Blazer shares the platform with the Lyriq and faces similar software and charging issues. Even Honda, a brand famous for bulletproof reliability, can't escape the Ultium platform's problems. The Honda Prologue electric SUV scored below average. Built on GM's platform shared with the Blazer EV, Equinox EV, Lyriq, and Acura ZDX, the Prologue inherits many of the same electronic and software issues. Owners report charging inconsistencies, infotainment freezes, and quality control problems Honda buyers never expected. Now, if you thought the problems were limited to American brands and GM's troubled Ultium platform, you'd be wrong. The biggest recall affecting electric vehicles this year involves over 208,000 vehicles from Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis. Sarah M. was driving her 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5 home on Interstate 95 when the dashboard lit up. Power limited, warning with a turtle icon. Within seconds, the accelerator stopped responding. The vehicle slowed from 65 to a crawl as traffic rushed past. She coasted to the shoulder as the Ioniq 5 died completely. The problem was the integrated charging control unit. The ICCU manages charging and powers the 12-volt battery in electric vehicles on Hyundai Motor Group's EGMP platform. When it fails, drivers hear a pop, see warning lights, and watch their vehicles lose all power. Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis have recalled over 208,000 electric vehicles to address EICCU failures. That includes the 2022 to 2024 Ioniq 5, 2023 to 2025 Ioniq 6, 2022 to 2024 EV6, 2023 to 2025 GV60, 2023 to 2025 electrified GV70, and 2023 to 2024 electrified G80. According to NHTSA, Hyundai confirmed 618 incidents in the U.S. where vehicles lost power while driving. Kia reported 34 cases of sudden power loss in the EV6. No crashes or injuries have been officially linked to the failures, but owners describe vehicles shutting down on busy highways in heavy traffic far from home. The ICCU handles DC fast charging, AC charging, and maintains the 12-volt battery. According to recall documents, failures stem from overvoltage during battery charging and thermal stress during driving or charging. The fix involves software updates to prevent overcurrent and reduce voltage peaks. If the ICCU is damaged, dealers replace it along with the fuse and coolant. But here's the problem. The ICCU itself hasn't been redesigned. Only the software managing it changed. Owners report ICCU failures even after recall repairs. One owner on Reddit described their second failure 7 months after the first replacement. They're just replacing them with the same ICCU-S. It could fail again just as easily, and 7 months later, it did. Another Ioniq 6 owner, with 850 miles, experienced complete shutdown at a traffic signal. Electric system failure message, completely locked, not going in neutral or doing anything. The vehicle had to be towed in the middle of the night. The dealership kept it for 2 weeks with no estimated completion date. Some repairs took months. Parts shortages left vehicles at dealerships, while owners juggled rental cars and missed work. One EV6 owner had possession of their vehicle for only 5 months out of 9 months of ownership. Consumer Reports noted this ICCU problem when explaining why Korean brands dropped in rankings. Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis share designs and components across vehicles. When trouble arises, it can ripple across product lines. The Kia EV9, a 3-row electric SUV for 2024, scored 24 out of 100 for predicted reliability. While some issues relate to infotainment and interior rattles, the potential for ICCU problems hangs over every EGMP vehicle. Every single one of these Korean EVs shares that same platform, which means every owner is waiting to see if their ICCU will be next. The $2.8 trillion represents the total U.S. auto market, but here's what matters to you. Every unreliable vehicle means money lost to depreciation, unexpected repairs, missed work, rental cars, and stress dealing with problems manufacturers can't seem to fix. Jake Fisher from Consumer Reports put it directly. With so many newly introduced EVS and PHEVs, along with the still relative newness of the technology, these growing pains were inevitable. However, we are seeing evidence that some EVs are improving as they age, and there are some reliable models available. But growing pains and inevitable don't help Michael R. with his bricked Lyriq, Sarah M. with her power-failing Ioniq, or Tom K. with his leaking Traverse. These aren't minor inconveniences. These are expensive gambles that trap owners in vehicles they can't trust and can't afford to replace. The rush to electrification, pressure to beat competitors, and complexity of modern vehicle systems created a perfect storm. Manufacturers prioritized features and technology over thorough testing and quality control. The result is a generation of vehicles, both electric and gas, that break at rates we haven't seen in years. Consumer Reports is clear. For any brand, entirely new models tend to bring reliability risks. They recommend looking at reliability data for specific models, not just brand reputation. Even low-ranking brands can have high-ranking vehicles, though notably not a single model from the bottom 5 brands was recommended for 2025. The pattern is clear. First-year models and major redesigns carry risk. Complex hybrid and electric powertrains have higher failure rates. Even established manufacturers with strong reputations stumble when rushing new technology to market. For anyone shopping today, the safest bets are established models with proven track records, preferably in their 3rd or 4th year after a redesign when manufacturers have worked out the worst problems. What's your experience with these vehicles? Have you dealt with an ICCU failure or a brick 12-volt battery? Share your story in the comments, and if this saved you from an expensive mistake, hit subscribe. In a market where even trusted brands are selling vehicles that fail within months, information is the only protection.